I feel like I owe everyone an apology because I disappeared for 3 months, but I promise you I am about to update you on everything that's happened and everything that I am planning for 2026. To address the elephant in the room, I have now officially finished my honours thesis, I have received my marks, and I graduate next week, which will be vlogged, do not fear. I feel like I had a very unique experience compared to other people because I had my draft finished well over a month before it was due, so while a lot of my peers were kind of stressing and applying for extensions, I was able to submit like hours in advance. I probably could have submitted the day before, but I wanted to feel the satisfaction of submitting on the day. With that said, I have now received my marks. I received them in the middle of my medieval conference, which I will get to, but I received my marks. I am very grateful that I can say that I am graduating with first class honours. I received kind of a shocking result for my thesis. I knew I was going to do well, but to get that level of feedback from people who I have admired for years in the faculty and for them to say such kind things about my work, I was not ready for that. I don't think anything prepares you to get feedback, nice feedback on your work. I am always one that is preparing for negative feedback, which is also so helpful. I want to set the record straight in saying that if and when people give me negative feedback, that is never a negative experience unless it is being delivered awfully. I will always see feedback as an opportunity to improve, but to have 2 points of formatting highlighted as errors and everything else be positive from 2 markers, I was not ready for that. And to have my supervisor and the honours coordinator call me to tell me that I had done well, that was the scariest phone call I have ever received. Not only because I didn't know who the phone number belonged to and then to answer it and hear their voices, but also for them to convey that information to me. That was a very emotional day. I simultaneously jumped up and down and then sobbed within the span of like 10 minutes. So an emotional roller coaster to say the least. But honours is done. I graduate with first class honours next week. It is such a relief. It is still kind of surreal, but it is such a positive step forward to where I want to get to. I have already applied for my master's, which is kind of my next point. I've applied for master's because who needs a break? I'm only really giving myself 4 months break, but that is because that is how I work. I am terrible at taking time off. I'm terrible at holidays. My idea of fun is making videos for the internet and posting them for people and for creating things like rebinding books. Like I actually can't sit and just watch TV. Like I don't want to say regular people because that shouldn't be normalized, but I suck at doing nothing. And so I'm giving myself until April 1st, research quarter 2, to kind of not be touching academia full time. The plan is to start my MPhil in research quarter 2 of 2026. I hear back about scholarships next week. I'm stressed. Can you tell I'm stressed? I only found out that information yesterday and I'm already overthinking it to the nines. But my topic right now is the 12th to 14th century representations of a medieval pope called the Demon Pope. He was actually called Pope Sylvester II, but his moniker is now the Demon Pope because he had a maths degree. Apparently education is terrifying. I would have been burnt at the stake in the 17th century, but I digress. This dude was persecuted posthumously because he had a maths degree, and that apparently meant that he had a pact with the devil, and he used that pact to get the papacy, and he seduced someone's daughter in order to get a magical book that taught him how to do that. I kid you not. William of Malmesbury interrupted his history of English kings to talk about a 10th century French pope. It's hectic, it makes absolutely no sense, and that is why I want to study it. Anywho, the next very exciting thing that I should probably update you all on is the fact that I went to Melbourne by myself. And what a learning experience that was. Not only did I have to travel by myself, which I have only ever done for 24 hours, I was alone for an entire week without my family, my partner, pretty much anyone I knew. But it was the best experience I have ever had. If you need a sign to travel by yourself, take this as your sign, because I came out of this experience an exponentially better human being simply because I learned how to function by myself just in an airport, let alone another state, another city, and a professional conference. But the main event was the ANZAMEMS biannual conference, which was called Possibilities. It was my first professional conference, and holy moly, did I learn a lot. Not only because I had to walk into a room full of seasoned academics, some of which I had been emailing for months, and I have read their work and I have cited their work in my own work, but also because it was the exact same day that my thesis results were incorrectly released, and it only took the university 4 hours to actually release the correct results, and I was meant to sit in these conference sessions and not lose my marbles. Thankfully, academics turned out to be the kindest people on the planet. It still bamboozles me how kind those people were. I was kind of adopted by another faculty. The very kind people of Flinders University just kind of adopted me, and I can now say that eating Italian in the middle of Melbourne with the Flinders faculty has become a core memory, so thank you. But more than that, just kind of rubbing shoulders with people who are living my dream and doing what I want to do full time. You learn so much just by listening, let alone discussing things and having genuinely enriching and, I want to say, nutritious conversations. I was the lone medievalist in a cohort of very, very nice modernists, but I couldn't really discuss anything in depth with them because we had very little in common academically. So to be surrounded by 250 people who have not only similar interests, but are also passionate about it, it's kind of like a high that needs to be studied. To cut a long story short, it was the best experience I have had career-wise thus far, and I could not recommend it more than just getting in a room with people who do what you want to do, because there is nothing more motivating than just hearing them speak, let alone conversing with them. Looking forward into the future to 2026, I can confidently say I have absolutely no idea how it's going to go. I would like to speak this into the world and say that I will be doing my master's and I will be doing it with a scholarship. And I wholeheartedly believe that there is a path forward into every single situation. It may not be the path that we think it is, but there is a path forward. But my overthinking type A control freak brain is really struggling right now. But we're speaking words of affirmation. I will be doing my master's. I will be doing it with a scholarship, and I will be doing it on the Demon Pope. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers, please. But other than that, 2026 is really exciting. I have so many goals. It's unbelievable. I'm going to the F1, which is very exciting. I'm going with my partner. It's just because I love F1. I love fast cars. My nickname is Rally Car Driver, so take that as you will. I've been following it for years. As a morning Ferrari girl, we're not going to talk about the 2025 season, and we're just going to move forward with positive vibes into 2026, because what the heck. That is the only confirmed trip that I have at this point in time. I'd really love to start sewing more into my other passion projects, like my book club, which has already been such a joy, just connecting with women who want to have an educated, well-rounded life. We're currently reading The Children of Ash and Elm by Neil Price. It is absolutely phenomenal. If you even mildly enjoy Viking history, I could not recommend this book more. I've already learned so much, and I have already realized how skewed Vikings have become in our popular culture. They are weird, they are violent, but they are an incredibly fascinating culture. The other book that we will be reading in the second half of the month is Little Women. I feel like that's all I have to say. It is the ultimate Christmas classic, and I am appalled to say that I have yet to read it in full. I started reading it in high school and I just stopped. I don't know why, but I will be reading it in full, and I will be reading it with the beautiful people on Fable. I will have us linked below. Please join our lovely little community. I would love to have you there. Other than that, I'm in my 20s. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but that's also kind of really exciting. I don't think enough people talk about how exciting it is having so many options. I feel like we are told that we just need to go down one path and just hit it with everything that we have, but I've never been like that. I am the epitome of that fig tree metaphor. I have so many things that I want to do, and there are so many exciting opportunities that I can make and will make for myself. And so I feel like, if anything, 2026 is just going to be the year of opportunity for me to really so into myself, so into my relationships, hopefully move out with my partner. Actually, I'm not saying hopefully. I will be moving out with my partner because we are both losing our marbles. Love to both of our families, but I would love to decorate my own house, please. With that said, I'm now rambling. That is kind of the little life update. Welcome back to my YouTube. I'm actually going to post on here weekly. I promise. It's documented here. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I promise you, the people watching this, if you've made it this far, I promise you that I will be posting on here weekly, and I would love to get to know you guys more, what you'd like to see more of, what facets of my life you are interested in. I am happy to be an open book as much as you guys would like. But with that said, I would really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and commented below just so we can kind of get this little community rolling again. I am really excited for the new year, and I am really excited for my next video, which will be my honours graduation. So I will see you when I am in my cap and gown. Bye!